Coming up, your weekly roundup of news from around the haunt industry. Welcome to the show. I'm Philip. On the HAN show, we bring you the haunt news, information, and education you need to prepare for Halloween. On Tuesdays, we bring you a roundup of news from haunts worldwide. Read more about these stories and so much more in our free weekly newsletter. Subscribe at the link in the show notes. And as always, for the news roundup, I'm passing it off to Daryl.
Haunts nationwide will open for their first off-season events of the new year with Friday the 13th and Valentine's Day offerings. Operating dates range from February 6th through February 21st, suggesting some haunts will try to extend the holiday. Keep on listening for a full list of over 100 haunts later in this news show. Inside Fright Night, West Virginia's new Valentine event. Fright Night's WV is opening for Valentine's weekend with Final Cut Till Death, a survival horror experience that places guests directly inside the story while they navigate Valentine's-themed horror scenarios. Layered inside the attraction is Cupid Crawl, a 3-stop bar crawl hidden behind secret doors and available exclusively to upgraded ticket holders. Creative director Ashley Long joined the Haunted Attraction Network to explain how the event works and why it represents a more intentional approach to off-season programming. Ashley is synthesizing 2 proven operational tests into one cohesive product by combining the survival horror mechanic they tested last summer with the hidden Cupid Crawl concept that sold out during Christmas. This is a calculated move to raise per-cap revenue with premium $60 ticket option, while ensuring the event is distinct enough to avoid cannibalizing her core Halloween season. Ashley is betting that high-quality off-season events build brand equity and create revenue streams that don't cannibalize Halloween, but that only works if the experience is differentiated from the Halloween product. We don't just throw Christmas lights up in the scene. Every character changes, the props change. We will take down those air props and replace them with Christmas air props, Ashley said. A lot of people don't go through the effort, but we do. And I think our customers see that, and they return. The differentiation strategy is crucial because she is targeting a specific and non-traditional haunt audience. While operating a West Virginia haunt in 20-degree February weather seems daunting, Ashley is leveraging the built-in foot traffic of the adjacent Glade Springs Resort, which is already at peak occupancy for ski season. Valentine's Day weekend is already a huge weekend for us. These people that are coming from the south, maybe they've never done Fright Nights before, but now I can market to them, Ashley added. By bundling the event with resort packages, she attracts guests who are already on site for skiing and seeking evening entertainment, turning the haunt into a resort amenity that introduces the brand to a wider demographic without relying solely on local die-hard fans. Follow the links in our show notes to read the full interview. VFX is launching its 2026 product line. VFXCreates.com has announced the launch of its 2026 product lineup, continuing its focus on original scare technology designed to entertain, surprise, and drive guest engagement. Known for attack line puppets, lunging and illusion boxes, crate creature puppets, and bungee line props, VFX products are built to deliver high-impact scares with strong return on investment across a wide range of attraction layouts. To celebrate the launch, VFX is offering limited-time discounts on select new and returning characters. Save up to $300 on the Lilith the Demon puppet with the code LAUNCH at checkout. This offer ends Saturday, January 24th. You can also save $300 on the Molly Zombie models. Applies to standard Molly Zombie, Makeover Molly Zombie, and the new Red Dead Molly Zombie. Use the code MOLLY at checkout. This offer also ends on January 24th. Explore the full 2026 lineup and take advantages of these launch offers at VFXCreates.com. Is Six Flags preparing to sell more parks? What the filings suggest. A series of trademark applications filed last week suggest that Six Flags may be preparing to sell additional properties, continuing the portfolio reduction strategy implied by its recent debt refinancing. An entity called Enchanted Parks Holding LLC, linked to Orlando-based Innovative Attraction Management IAM, has filed trademarks incorporating the names of several current Six Flags properties, including Michigan's Adventures, Six Flags St. Louis, Oceans of Fun, Water Safari, and the Great Escape Lodge. While trademark filings alone don't confirm transactions, the scope and specificity of these names suggest preparation for potential rebranding tied to asset transfers. Since the Cedar Fair and Six Flags merger closed, Six Flags has been explicit that not every park fits its future model. In the November Q3 earnings call, Chief Financial Officer Brian Witherow revealed that the portfolio has sharply diverged. One group of parks representing approximately 70% of the company's EBITDA has recognized brands and saw flat attendance and incremental earnings increases, while underperforming parks, many of which are smaller and less well known, saw third-quarter attendance declines of 5% and increased operating expenses. By offloading a bundled package of regional water parks and lower-tier properties to an operator like IAM, Six Flags can clean up the balance sheet, reduce the drag from underperforming assets, and concentrate investment on the 70% of parks that actually drive earnings. This allows the company to focus capital on parks where the brand is strong enough to command premium pricing and where operational improvements can generate meaningful returns. The question is whether Six Flags can use the proceeds from these sales and the 5-year runway from refinancing to make the remaining properties profitable enough to justify the higher fixed costs. The company bought breathing room. Now it needs to execute. In this week's episode of Green Tagged, Philip and Scott discuss how this asset sale strategy may unfold in parallel with the company's debt refinancing. Follow the links to listen to the full episode. Scooby-Doo meets Universal Monsters in the backlot during Universal's FanFest nights. Get ready for monsters, mayhem, and meddling on the Universal Studios Hollywood backlot as Scooby-Doo and the gang meet the iconic Universal Monsters for a thrilling mystery during Universal Fan Fest nights, Universal City, California. Scooby-Doo meets the Universal Monsters Mystery on the Backlot is an immersive walkthrough adventure that allows guests to disembark from the studio tour tram and step into a live-action mystery with Scooby-Doo, Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy. The exciting escapade will challenge guests to solve the mystery involving Frankenstein, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, and Wolfman as they navigate portion of the Universal's world-famous outdoor film sets, from the cobblestone streets of Little Europe to the iconic Court of Miracles, the original filming locations for historic Universal films Frankenstein from 1931 and The Wolfman from 1941. This experience will join other activities, photo ops, and curated food and merchandise themed to One Piece, Harry Potter, Super Nintendo World, and Dungeons & Dragons. Universal Fan Fest is a separately ticketed event running 12 select nights from April 23rd to May 16th. Tickets are on sale now, starting at $74 for general admission, $144 for express, and $174 for unlimited express. The Halloween and Costume Association announces Spooky Awards winners. The Halloween and Costume Association's second annual Spooky Awards were held last week at the Halloween and Party Expo in Las Vegas. The Spooky Awards honor innovative, imaginative, and impactful products in the Halloween industry. Each entry was evaluated by a panel of industry experts in innovation, marketability, trend-setting potential, appeal, and usefulness. This year's winners are Accessories by Alora Wiggs, Color Me Wig. Costume Adult is Ghoulish by Crampin Costume. Costume Child is Ruby's 2 LLC, Unicorn Kids Inflatable Ride-On Costume. Costumed Licensed is Disguise, Oogie Boogie Prestige Adult Costume. Costume Most Unique is Ruby's 2 LLC, Adult Fisher-Price Rock-A-Stack Inflatable Costume. Costume Non-Character is by Disguise, Nessa Rose Adaptive Wheelchair Cover Kit. Decor goes to Ghoulish. Scarecrow Yard Staff. Makeup goes to Ghoulish. A Fingers Appliance. Masks go to Ghoulish as well. Frankenstein Green Mask. Most Innovative by Disguise. Elphaba Adaptive Wheelchair Cover Kit. And the fan favorite, it goes to Jazzwares. Star Wars Adult Chewbacca. A good scare can bring people together. A recent paper from researchers at the University of Florida delves into how shared recreational fear experiences, such as haunted houses, can increase feelings of closeness within social groups. Since 2022, Gainesville Fear Garden in Gainesville, Florida, has served as both a pop-up haunt and a bona fide psychological research lab. Over 7,000 participants have attended 7 events organized by over 200 student researchers. From carnivorous plants and sinkholes to AI-powered nightmares, each event utilized elements of immersive theater, headphones, and blindfolds to test new ways to entertain and terrify. In their latest paper, Haunted Attraction, the effects of recreational fear on interpersonal bonding, the team discussed their findings from participant questionnaires and interviews. A majority of participants reported that sharing a fun or frightening experience made them feel closer to others in their group, especially at the group level. Follow-up interviews with participants revealed that bonding tended to happen after the haunt through talking, laughing, and reflecting on the frightening experience together, rather than during the haunt itself. This suggests that shared experiences can promote social bonding, especially when groups process them together afterwards. Haunters may want to take note of these findings, as they imply that post-experience shared spaces, such as midways, dining areas, or bars, may help to enhance the perceived benefit of the events. The study, however, notes limitations in the research. Participants were drawn from those who already enjoy scary attractions, so the results may not apply to those who do not. Also, a notable minority did not feel closer to others after the experience, leading researchers to theorize that if someone feels vulnerable but does not get the support they hope for, it can strain relationships. Shared fear may act as a safe stress test of social support. Hershey aims to break out of the seasonal game. The Hershey Company has increased its marketing budget for Hershey's by 20% to fund the brand's first new advertising campaign in 8 years. The company will include both traditional and streaming TV, as well as TikTok influencer campaigns, live event, and activity around cultural moments, like the Winter Olympics and America 250 celebrations. You see churn and change throughout the course of the year in different seasonal moments and over the course of life stages too, said Stacey Taffet, Chief Growth Officer of Hershey. Our goal is to fill in the gaps. The company hopes to increase sales outside of Halloween and Easter, as well as to households without children who eat sweets. When rising cocoa costs and tariffs have hurt profits, the company believes strengthening a core Hershey's brand will help drive growth across its broader portfolio. Camp Nowhere returns this summer. Children and teens age 8 to 17 are invited to unleash their creativity and step into an original character at Camp Nowhere, a 5-day immersive theater camp from Nowhere Entertainment in Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota. Participants will build original characters, learn scare acting, and receive hands-on experience with makeups, props, and set design, all from professionals in the industry. The experience will culminate in a final haunted house showcase where families can experience a walk-through haunt with performances by Camp Nowhere's new scare actors. Registration is now open. Tuition is $275 and covers all 5 days of camp, including materials and activities. Sessions for 8 to 12-year-olds will be held 9 a.m. to noon on June 9th through 12th, June 15th through 19th, and June 22nd through 26th. Sessions for 13 to 17-year-olds will be held from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., June 15th through 19th, and June 22nd through 26th. In legal news, Russ McCamey wins partial summary judgment on an email hack lawsuit. On January 15th, U.S. District Judge Alida A. Trauger of the Middle District of Tennessee ruled that Justin Urace is liable for accessing and publicizing Russ McCamey's private email. Several related claims, however, have been left for trial, including federal and state computer fraud and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit arose from the October 2023 release of the Hulu documentary Monster Inside, America's Most Extreme Haunted House, which centered on the controversial McCamey Manor in Summertown, Tennessee. In the film, Urace brags that he hacked into McCamey's personal email account by calling the provider, guessing a security question, and changing the password, saying, "I locked him out. We hit the jackpot." Urace published over 60 of the private emails of the McCamey's Manor Exposed Facebook group. McCamey sued for violations of the Federal Computer Fraud and Abuse Act and the Stored Communications Act, as well as state law claims for invasion of privacy and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Judge Trauger ruled that Urace's public statements about the hack, combined with his repeated invocation of the Fifth Amendment during discovery, established his liability for accessing the emails. However, there is still a factual dispute over whether or not McCamey suffered actionable economic damages. McCamey was denied a summary judgment in the CFAA and a related law claim. His claim of intentional infliction of emotional distress may proceed to a jury. And here are the 2026 Friday the 13th and Valentine's Day haunts that are going on across the country. Alabama brings you Arx Mortis from Killen, Alabama, the City of Chaos in Eastaboga, Alabama, Conjure Haunted Attraction in Birmingham, Eastaboga Manor in Eastaboga, Hillbilly Hollow in Vincent, Alabama, Pope's Haunted Farm in Salem, Spook Trail in Quinton, Sweet Dreams Haunted House in Joppa, and Warehouse 31 in Pelham, Alabama. Arkansas is bringing you the Asylum Haunted House in Cave Springs, Asylum X in Fort Smith, and Folklore Slaughterhouse in Graysville, Arkansas. California is scaring you with the All Saints Lunatic Asylum in Apple Valley, the Black Casket Productions in Yucaipa, Eulogy Collective in Anaheim, California, Fear Overload in Newark, The Haunt at Atascadero in Atascadero, High Desert Haunted House in Apple Valley, Sacramento Scream Park in Sacramento, California, and The Screams in Fairfield, California. Colorado's scaring you with the 13th Floor Haunted House in Denver and Find Your Fright in Loveland, Colorado, while Connecticut is bringing you Fright Haven from Stratford, Connecticut. Florida haunted houses include the 13th Floor Haunted House Jacksonville in Jacksonville, Florida, Creepy Hollow Woods in Jay, and Sir Henry's Haunted Trail in Plant City, Florida. Georgia Valentine's haunted houses include the Helen in Helen, Georgia, Lake Joy Trails of Terror in Kathleen, Paranoia Haunted House in Canton, and Wicked South in Pembroke, Georgia. Illinois has got the 13th Floor Haunted House Chicago in Chicago, Illinois, Disturbia Haunted House in Downers Grove, the Factory of Fear in Moline, the Massacre Haunted House in Montgomery, Sinister Acres in DeSoto, and the Vibe Haunted House in Crèvecoeur, Illinois. Indiana's got the House of Lecter in Evansville, Mysterium Haunted Asylum in Fort Wayne, Malice Manor in Clarksville, Necropolis Underground in Indianapolis, and the 13th Hour in Indianapolis, Indiana. Iowa has got the Hillside House of Hell in Glenwood, Iowa, and Kansas brings you the Haunted Walters in El Dorado, Kansas. Kentucky haunted houses include the American Horrorplex in Louisville, Kentucky, the Haunted Hotel KY in Louisville, and the Kentucky Fear Tower in Winchester. Louisiana brings you the Necro Manor Haunted House in Bossier City, while Maryland has got Bennett's Curse from Baltimore, Hera's Nightmare in Westminster, and Laurel's House of Horror in Laurel, Maryland. Massachusetts brings you the Factory of Terror in Fall River, Mass., and Michigan is bringing you the Awaken Haunted Attraction in Leslie, Factory of the Dead in Saginaw, and the Hush Haunted Attraction in Westland, Michigan. Missouri has got Terror on Route 66 in Sullivan and the Darkness in St. Louis, Missouri. Nevada is bringing you the Halloween Maze in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Tom Devlin's Monster Museum in Boulder City, Nevada. New Jersey haunted houses include the 13th Hour Haunted House in Wharton, New Jersey, and the Brighton Asylum in Passaic, while New Mexico is bringing you the Haunted Scarecrow in Albuquerque, and New York State is bringing the Bayvale Scream Park in Bayvale, New York. North Carolina is bringing us the Haunted Forest at Panic Point in Youngsville, Hollerin' Haunts Hayride in Clinton, the Hotel in Ahoskie, Panic Attack in Nakina, Pinhead's Graveyard in Canton, and the Woods of Terror in Greensboro, North Carolina. Ohio haunted houses include Akron Haunted Schoolhouse in Akron, Area 13 Project in Oxford, Fear Columbus Haunted House in Columbus, Ohio, Hell's Dungeon in Dayton, and Nightmare on Main Street in Pomeroy, Ohio. Oklahoma has got the Asylum in Nowata, Oklahoma, and the Chamber of Terror in Moore. The Fear PDX comes out of Portland, Oregon, and Pennsylvania is bringing you the Field of Screams PA in Mountville, Haunted Hills Estate Scream Park in Uniontown, Horrorween Haunted Warehouse in Mount Union, Pennsylvania, Lincoln Mill Haunted House in Philadelphia, the Penhurst Asylum in Spring City, and Spook Haven in Mill Hall, Pennsylvania. South Carolina has got the Dark Castle in Elgin, South Carolina, Deceased Farm in Lexington, and Nightmare Dungeon in Greenville. Tennessee has got the Fear Zone in Memphis, Frightworks in Powell, Hell's Bar Dam in Guild, Nashville Nightmare in Madison, and the Scream Chamber in Athens, Tennessee. Texas has got the 13th Floor Haunted House Houston in Houston, Texas, Cutting Edge in Fort Worth, Dark Hour in Plano, Doc Wilkes' House of Horrors in Longview, Hangman's House of Horrors in Fort Worth, Imminent Doom in Kilgore, Nightmare on 19th Street in Lubbock, Silo of Screams in Temple, and the Texas Scaregrounds in Mineral Wells. Utah's got Asylum 49 in Tooele, and Castle of Chaos in Midvale. Virginia has got Frightmare in Chesapeake, Spooky Acres Haunted House in Norfolk, St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, and the Terror Manor in Roanoke. Washington State has got Cinema of Horrors in Kelso and Frightvale in Oak Harbor, Washington. And West Virginia is bringing you Fear on the Farm WV in Winfield, West Virginia, and Fright Nights WV from Daniel. Is your haunt open for an off-season event? Let us know to be included in the next list. Some upcoming events this January through March include Creep IE-Con from Ontario, California, January 30th through February 1st, and Transworld's Halloween and Attractions Show in St. Louis, Missouri, March 26th through 29th.
And that's all for the news this week. Today's episode was produced by me, Philip Hernandez, with reporting by Daryl Plunkey, post-production by David Swope. This Haunt News Update is a production of the Haunted Attraction Network, and you can sign up to our weekly newsletter at hauntedattractionnetwork.com. Support for this episode comes from Gantom Lighting and Controls. Until next time, haunters, stay scary.
This is a Haunted Attraction Network production.